Today my presentation is Make America Think Harder, Andrew Yang's establishment of Asian male authenticity in his 2020 bid against Trump. A little bit about the 2020 presidential election. For the Republican Party, Donald Trump remained the predominant party figure. For the Democratic Party, the campaign stage has been very crowded with no clear leader. By the end of 2019, 18 Democrats are running, with 10 others having dropped out. So Andrew Yang is an American entrepreneur. He was born in 1975. He is the son of immigrants from Taiwan. He grew up in New York. So Andrew Yang is the founder of a non-profit organization called Venture of America. He is the father of 2 boys. One of them is autistic. Andrew Yang is the only East Asian American candidate running for the office in 2020. Before we talk about Andrew Yang's campaign, we need to understand Asian stereotypes in America. So there are basically 4 different Asian stereotypes. The first is model minority. The second, math genius or straight A students. Third, yellow peril. The fourth, FOB, which means fresh off the boat. So the 4 stereotypes has its both positive and negative connotation. The positive connotation including Asians being very hardworking, intelligent, successful, and well-behaved. The negative ones could mean Asians are very obedient, passive, nerdy, awkward, unattractive, feminine, and forever foreign. So race, gender, and politics are always intertwined with each other. Hegemonic masculinity is a concept dealing with men's privileged status over women and minorities in a Western society to maintain men's social power and control. So hegemonic masculinity basically put white men over minority and women in all aspects of the Western society. In American politics, masculinity has been a subliminal rhetorical device for American politicians. Particularly, Republicans engage more in masculinity rhetoric than Democrats. So Andrew Yang's 2020 presidential campaign lasted for 3 years, from 2017 to 2020. The campaign's key policy is freedom dividend, which is also known as universal basic income. His campaign slogan including humanity first, not left, not right, forward, secure the bag, and MAS, which is the acronym for Make America Think Harder. So Andrew Yang's campaign is directly targeted at Trump administration. His campaign also has a very active following on social media who are called Yang Gang. Andrew Yang's campaign has multiple celebrity endorsements, including Elon Musk, Dave Chappelle, Donald Glover, and many others. Andrew Yang's campaign raised a total of $42 million. Before we talk about Andrew Yang's campaign, we need to understand Trump's campaign first, because Trump's winning in 2016 is the reason Andrew Yang ran for the office in 2020. Trump's campaign basically focused on the dystopian agenda setting and narrative of a very bleak future for America. In this bleak future of America, liberals are destroying US values. Mexicans and illegal immigrants are leading to rising crime rates. Muslims are posing terrorist threat to the country, and China are stealing jobs away from America. So Andrew Yang's campaign also has a similar dystopian narrative and agenda setting. However, this campaign did not blame minority and immigrants for Americans' problem. Instead, Andrew Yang focused on big corporations. He believes Americans focus too much on the profits of big corporations instead of the well-being of American citizens, which is why he describes the dystopian future of a winner-take-all economy. In his example, he accused Amazon of sucking millions of jobs and pay zero in tax. Another culprit of the winner-take-all economy is job loss caused by automation and robots. For example, he focused on the disappearing of truckers' jobs. In addition, Andrew Yang rejects GDP as a measurement of economic health. In this case, he said, "Look, there's record high GDP and stock market prices. You know what else are record highs? Suicides, drug overdoses, depression, anxiety. It's gotten so bad that American life expectancy has declined for the last 3 years." Andrew Yang also shared a similar feature of anti-politics and anti-establishment with Trump's campaign. Anti-establishment means proposing alternative ways while condemning the existing means of conducting public affairs. So Trump's persona of anti-politics is built around his duality of a businessman and also a performer. Because he has been a tycoon and also a TV star, he can maneuver between those two different roles very smoothly. Trump used very exaggerative and aggressive language which denies the political filter. In addition, Trump's anti-establishment is featured by his attacking of the media as fake news. Yang's persona is kind of different because nobody ever heard of him in politics before. In order to get immediate attention, he go out of the way to appear tieless in the debate. He also used very plain language, occasionally used curse words. So Yang's anti-establishment was shown by his challenge of the status quo of a winner-take-all economy and his promotion of the concept of UBI. Other activities Yang did, including crowd surfing, skateboarding, also contribute to his anti-establishment and anti-politics persona. Some people think his media stunts may take away the message he wants to convey. So people might think he is a gimmick candidate. However, Yang's campaign is very different from Trump in one thing, which is the treatment of knowledge and education. MAGA campaign is built on the sentiment of anti-intellectualism, which is a trend to ignore or even contempt the value of education and science. So Trump frequently used inflammatory speech to blame minority Muslim and immigrants. This can be demonstrated by his use of high school vocabulary and his anti-elitism. The mass campaign is totally different because Andrew Yang has been calling Americans to engage in independent thinking and critical thinking. Instead, Yang used Asian stereotypes to promote his message for intellectualism. For example, in many occasions, he said, "The opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math. I'm Asian, so I know a lot of doctors. I know the numbers, I have the data." This use of Asian stereotype to promote his message has been very controversial. A lot of people, including Asian Americans, feel maybe it is very offensive or not appropriate. Yang's negotiation of race, masculinity, and authenticity is obvious. Usually, traditional politicians will engage heavily in racial politics to advocate civil rights movement to empower minority groups to fight systemic racism. However, race in Yang's campaign is kind of different. First, Yang highlighted his Asian heritage in the campaign. Second, Yang seldom utilized his racial identity to advocate racial justice. Instead, he used other terms such as moms, truckers, autistic children, parents, working class people, and athletes to advocate his ideas. Yang also played with Asian stereotypes to promote his message for critical thinking. The model minority label can subconsciously weaken his campaign stamina because the Asian American hasn't been very vocal in advocating social civil rights movement. So Yang's construction of Asian masculinity is different. he tried to go out of the way of the model minority label. Instead, he used the mass slogan to go toe-to-toe against Trump's MAGA. Young also challenged Trump both intellectually and athletically. For example, he called for a one-on-one basketball game with Trump. Young also violated the expectation of a model minority in multiple ways. For example, his tieless appearance at the debate, his using of four-letter words, making jokes, crowd surfing, and skateboarding. Typically, minority candidates are more likely to face the questioning of their authenticity as an American citizen. For example, Obama has been questioned for his American citizenship. The same thing happened to Andrew Yang. One time, a radio host, Jesse Lee Peterson, called Yang a communist and said he should go back to China, even though Yang's parents are from Taiwan, which is not under communist ruling. In order to establish himself as an authentic American, Yang intentionally used this subliminal message of wearing a star-spangled scarf. He also engaged in narrative about him being born in a family of hard-working immigrants. In addition, Yang stayed in touch with American pop culture. Asian stereotype is a double-edged sword for Yang's campaign, because it may contribute to his ethos as an advocate for intellectualism, but on the other hand, it could also sabotage voters' confidence in his stamina and credibility and authenticity. So Yang deconstructed Asian stereotype. For the stereotype of forever foreigner, Yang remained spontaneous, humorous, energetic, genuine, and he also stayed in touch with the popular American culture. The model minority label is destroyed by Yang's tireless appearance, dancing, cursing, skateboarding, crowd surfing, and basketball challenges. The significance of Yang's campaign is obvious. It contributed to the visibility of Asian faces in US politics, because Asian Americans has been the least involved in American politics among all different minority groups, both in voters' turnout and the engagement in civil rights movement. In addition, Yang's unconventional campaign strategy and public stance also helped him fight media suppression and promoted his message for UBI. For example, Twitter has been trending the hashtag Young Media Blackout because MSNBC has omitted Andrew Yang from their graphics 12 times and even called him John Yang. The conclusion? Race, gender, and American authenticity are subtle yet inescapable themes for American politics, which may put Asian American candidates at a disadvantage. However, Yang tactfully branded his unique political persona around these Asian stereotypes. Yang's campaign does not heavily engage in racial politics. However, he focused on humanity and data-driven solutions for all Americans. Here are my references. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.